So as you land onto your mat, as you settle in, just check in. Do you need to move slightly, adjust slightly, give yourself a little bit more support, bend your knees? Let's see, what do you need to do right now to really land in? How do you care for your needs? And we're great at settling for things or putting up with things. We manage, of course we do, and we can endure all kinds of things. But, in moments like this, when you're settling in and really listening to yourself, how do you hear and cultivate that inner voice that tells you, I'd love a blanket and it would be really nice, or I'd love a pillow, or actually bend your knees right now and that would be really great. As you settle, as you land, just notice the position of your body. So your two legs, either your knees are bent or your legs are straight, or one knee is bent, one leg is straight. Or your arms are resting, either your hands are on your belly or your arms are long beside you, or some other position. The backs of your shoulders, the back of your head, the length of your spine, the lower back, the buttocks, the backs of your thighs, your calves, your heels, or the soles of your feet if your knees are bent. And how do you hear only you right now? Like, how do you draw your attention in and listen to you right now? It's almost like take your awareness from out and pull it to the in of you. And sometimes I feel like it's like gazing into a deep pond inside myself, or just like falling inside. How do you drop inwards with your attention? How do you feel, see, perceive, be with, connect to, hear yourself right now? Feeling sensations of tiredness or achiness or wellness and softness of clothing, of temperature, of wind, of floor, of blanket. There's just so many different sensations. And then there's that isness, that beingness of you, that something that is you in the midst of all of this. And all of that is you. And then there's something that stitches all that together. There's a baseline of something that is you. And how do you find that, or how do you feel that right now? So let's kind of make chunks out of ourselves and just feel each chunk. So when you feel your head, what's the sensation of head right now for you? So what's the sensation of the feeling of your scalp, your face, the skull, the brain, the neck, the jaw, the throat? What is the feeling, the sensation of all of this in this moment? This feeling of your head. Just maybe notice three sensations that are the sensation of your head. One is the contact with the floor, and then two other sensations that speak to you of your head right now. It could be whatever. Nice. And then your right arm. So as you rest here right now, what three sensations can you feel in your right arm? Contact, temperature, clothing, some other sensation, coolness, warmth, juiciness, pressure, movement. Just the right arm. What is the sense of your right arm right now? Three sensations. And then your left arm. Three sensations of left armness. And just go bing, bing, bing. There they are. That's three sensations. I can feel my left arm in those three sensations right now. And so then the right leg. So what three sensations can you feel in your right leg in this moment? Just be aware, let them emerge, let them present themselves. Three sensations of right leg. Really go 1, 2, 3. Great. And then your left leg. Three sensations of left legness. And then your torso. We'll do 5 sensations of your torso. So from your collarbones to your pubic bone, from your hips to the backs of your shoulders, what 5 sensations in your torso can you feel right now? So count them out, like chest, collarbones, belly, navel, pressure on the floor, shoulder blades maybe, or whatever they are. Just feel torso. And then stitch all of those together, and what 3 sensations are the most obvious in the whole of your body right now? Nice. And then notice where your breath is. So as you deepen your breath into your belly, as you let it fall down into your belly, just notice the gentle movement of your breath into your belly. And just appreciate the breath, this moment, this body. Nice. So come to bend your knees and bring your feet to stand. And your feet are hip distance apart and they're flat on the floor. Your hands can either rest on your belly or long down beside you. And then draw your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And then as you arch, breathing into your belly, arching your lower back. And as you flatten down, pull your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And then arch and breathe into your belly. So as you're moving from flattening down into arching, become aware of the range of sensations that are emerging. So there'll be sensations in your legs, and sensations in your hips, sensations in your lower back, sensations in your shoulders, and even in your head as you move slightly up and down. So just feel into the whole of this movement in your body right now as you arch and as you flatten. One more time, arching and flattening. Great. So without moving your knees from side to side, lift your right buttock off the floor and then drop it down. And then lift your left buttock off the floor and drop it down. And so you're tilting your pelvis from left to right, but you're not letting your knees rock from side to side. You're tilting through the pelvis rather than using the weight of your legs. So as you tilt your right hip up, as you tilt your left hip up, just feel that through the pelvis, through your hips. Where do you feel this sensation in your body? How do you sense that in your body? Nice, and then combine those 2 movements, do a circle with the back of your body on the floor. So as you circle, as you roll, as deep of your hips, your belly, keeping your feet on the floor, you're circling through the lower back, and then circle in the other direction, circling, rolling, rounding. Nice. And then drop both knees down to the right. And so as you drop both knees down towards the right, letting them fall down, just feeling into the hips, the belly, sides of your waist. You can reach your arms straight out to your side so they're like in a cross. And then bring your knees back up to center. And then drop your knees down towards the left. And as you drop your knees down towards the left, have a sense of the deep of the right hip, the right side of your waist. And then back up to center. And then just begin to rock from side to side. And as you ease from side to side, how is this in your body? How is this in your hips, in your belly, in the rib cage in this moment? Rocking, warming up, swaying as you drop your knees from one side to the other side. Nice. So drop your knees down towards the right and then glide your left knee up so that your left foot is traveling up in the direction of your right knee, or your left knee is traveling up in the direction of your right elbow. And then glide all the way back, both feet to the floor, both knees back to center, drop down towards the left, and then glide the right knee all the way up in the direction of the left elbow. So as you glide from side to side, we've now deepened the twist. So feel into your rib cage, feel into the lower back, and only go as far as your body can move in wellness. And that's really like, there should be a difference from left to right. There should be a difference from day to day. There should be a difference between each one of us. So really feel what your body is allowing you in wellness, and really appreciate the boundaries of that. Appreciate the sensations that you can feel and how you adjust accordingly. One more time each side. Nice, and then come all the way back up to center. Nice, from here draw the right knee up onto your chest, squeeze it in. And just hold it in deeply, and as you squeeze it in, have a sense of the deep of your hip, your belly, softening into your buttock, widening into the back. Let it settle, let it sink. Nice, take a long inhalation. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin in and look towards your navel. And then slowly lowering down, bring your head to the floor. And then slowly rising up, tuck your chin in, looking towards your navel. If for any reason your neck doesn't like this, then just don't do it. And lowering down to the floor. Last time, tuck your chin in, look towards your navel. And then lowering all the way down and land on the floor. Great change. Bring your right foot to the floor, squeeze your left knee up towards you. Hug it down and in. As you squeeze it in, feel the deep of your hip, the soft of your belly. And really let it settle. Nice, take a long inhalation. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin in and look towards your navel. And then slowly lowering down and land on the floor. And then rising up, tuck your chin in, look towards your navel. Slowly rolling down and land on the floor. One last time, tuck your chin in, rising up. And then rolling all the way down and land on the floor. Great, squeeze both knees towards you. And just rock from side to side. As you rock from one side to the other, just feeling into the sides of the back of your body, the deep of your hips. Nice. Push your elbows into the floor and let your knees travel a little bit further, but always in wellness. So you're just feeling a little bit more muscular effort through the sides of your body. And as you travel from side to side, just really feel and appreciate the wellness of you rather than how much stress you can create in your body. So really feel just that sense of
You can feel your body, you're feeling well, it feels strong. And you can connect to the outsides of your legs, the outside of your hips. Nice, and then come all the way back to center. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. And send your heels up towards the ceiling. And then point your toes. Heels up towards the ceiling. And then point your toes. Heels up towards the ceiling. And point your toes. And then roll your ankles in a big circle. And as you roll your ankles in a big circle, really feel into the deep of your ankles. Feel into the deep of your feet as you roll. As you really roll into the ankles using the toes. And then roll in the other direction. Rolling, easing. Squeeze all your toes in like fists. Open your toes wide. Squeeze your toes in. Open your toes wide. And squeeze your toes in. And open your toes wide. Nice. Bend your right knee. Hug it down towards you. Pull it in towards you. And then slowly lower the left leg down until it floats just above the floor. Nice. And then slowly you can bend your left knee if you want to, or lift your left leg straight up towards the ceiling and let it rise up straight up towards the ceiling. And again, lower your left leg down until it floats just above the floor. You're listening to the deep of that left hip. You're really allowing that you're breathing into your belly, lengthening into that left leg. Stretch your leg straight up towards the ceiling. One last time, lower your left leg down until it floats just above the floor, and then point both of your toes and flex both of your heels. Point your toes and flex your heels. And point your toes and flex your heels. Point into the left foot and just draw a small circle with your left leg. And as you circle, really feel like you're moving from the deep of your belly as you roll that circle. And then circle in the other direction. Circling, easing, lengthening. Nice. Bend the left knee and draw the left knee up until your left thigh bangs into your left elbow. And then stretch the left leg long again. Bend the left knee until your left knee comes up and bangs into your elbow. And then stretch your left leg long again. Nice. Bend both knees towards you and then just rock from side to side, holding onto your knees. Easing in one way and then in the other way. Nice. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. And just have a sense of the lower belly pulling backwards, your navel pulling backwards, the rib cage widening and pulling backwards, the backs of your shoulders being very steady on the floor, the backs of your arms imprinting into the floor. Where you feel that you're heavy through the back of your body. Nice. Bend the left knee, squeeze it down towards you, holding onto your left knee. And then slowly lower your right leg down until it floats just above the floor. You can either bend that right knee as you draw it up, or keep it straight as you bring it back up to straight up above your hip. And lower the right leg down until it floats just above the floor. And then straight up towards the ceiling, reaching up with that leg. Nice. Last time, lower your right leg down until it floats just above the floor. And then point your toes, flex your heels, point your toes. Notice how it's different in your legs as you flex your heels and as you point your toes. Flex your heels and point your toes. Keep your right toe pointed. Draw a circle with your right leg. And keep that sense of the back of your body being really strong into the floor. That you're really imprinting the back of your body to the floor. And then roll the circle in the other direction. Nice. Bend your right knee until your right thigh bangs into your right elbow. And then unfold your right leg long until it floats just above the floor. Bend your right knee until your right knee thigh bangs into your elbow. And then unfold that leg and stretch it out long. Nice. And then bend your knee, draw it up towards you. And then keeping your toes together, bring your hands to your knees. Come into butterfly knees. So knees widen as your toes stay together. And then your toes drop down in the direction of the floor. Knees come together and back up towards your chest. So you're rolling in a deep circle with your hips. You're really rolling into the inner thighs as you allow that falling away of your thighs, and then that squeezing of your knees up towards you, and the dropping away of your thighs, and the squeezing of your knees towards you. Other direction. Roll your knees out, up towards your shoulders, and then bring them together. And you're really noticing, how do my inner thighs receive this movement? How do I do this right now? Nice. So keep both knees up towards you, and then actually bring both feet to the floor, and then drop both knees over towards the right, and have your left foot stacked on top of the right foot. And then push both, bring your arms wide so your arms are in a cross. And then lift the left knee up, but keep your feet together. So you're lifting your left knee up, and you're trying to just lift your left knee as far away from the right knee as you can. And then drop your knee down towards your right knee. Your big toes are touching the whole time. And then lift your right knee up, keeping your big toes touching. And then drop your left knee down, sorry, your left knee is moving. So lift your left knee up so that your left knee is lifting as far away from the right knee as you can. It's a bit like a clam, how your thighs are moving. So your left knee is lifting up, your right thigh is stuck to the floor, your right side is on the floor. We'll just do that a few more times. So you're lifting your left knee up, and then dropping it down. And one more time, lift your left knee up, and then drop it down. Great. So lift your left knee up, and now fall over to the other side. So dropping both knees over towards the left. Your big toes are touching the whole time. And then lift the right knee up. Keeping your left side really glued to the floor. You can bring your left hand to your left thigh if that helps with the gluing of your left side to the floor. So really don't let your left leg move at all as you sway or wave your right knee up. And then drop it down, and then right knee up. And notice how at the end of the movement, there's this kind of rocky, shaky bit at the end of the movement. Notice how you lose power in that range of motion. So where is it that it ends? Where is it that you lose the ability to lift your knee any further? Nice, and then come all the way back up to center. Great. So keeping your feet close together, drop your knees wide and have your soles of your feet together. So now the baby toe edge of your feet is resting on the floor, your knees have dropped wide, and just flatten your lower back a little bit into the floor. And then reach both arms overhead until your arms are resting on the floor above your head. If for any reason you feel like that's really uncomfortable for your shoulders, then bend your elbows until they come to a place where they're resting on the floor somewhere beside you or somewhere above you. So rather than having your arms floating or your arms in pain, find the place where your arms are comfortable. Arms are resting on the floor, wherever that is overhead, and your knees are dropping wide with the soles of your feet touching. And drop your breath down into your belly. Nice. Bring your arms until your elbows rest on the floor beside you. And then push your elbows down, flatten your lower back down, and just lift your right foot a little bit off the floor. Keeping your knee wide, the sole of your foot is still facing towards the left, and then drop your right foot down. And then lift your left foot up. Just lift it up where it is, lifting it up, and then lowering it down. Just do that a few times. Right foot lifts up, lowering down. Where do you feel this movement? Left foot lifts up. For me, it's in the deep of my hip, my inner thigh. There's engagement in the belly, in the buttock, in the lower back. So you feel like you're walking your feet up and down. So your left foot lifts, lowers down, and then your right foot lifts. And feel what moves. And what range of motion feels wholesome to you? So can your foot lift a little bit higher in wellness or not? Where is the range that feels comfortable for you? That could be 1 inch, that could be a little bit higher. It could be easier the higher you lift it, or it could be harder the higher you lift it. Notice what it is for you. For me, it's easy to lift, but lowering down, I feel much more effort in my inner thighs as I lower down. Lifting up is easy, and then lowering down with care and attention is a little bit more, just more effort. One more time, each leg, lifting up, and then the other one lifting up. Nice. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart as they are, and then bring both knees together so your feet, your ankles are touching, your knees are touching. And then push down into your feet and flatten your lower back down into the pelvic tilt. And arching your lower back, breathing into your belly. So we're doing the pelvic tilt with our knees together and our thighs together. So there's less movement. It's a little bit squishier into the hips, which is interesting. There's no one way we should do any movement. You'll feel it more into the side of your thighs, the sides of your hips as you do this. So just flatten your lower back down. And then arch, and as you flatten down, notice how your bum has to engage to flatten down. So I have to squeeze my bum as I flatten down, and as I arch again, my bum is engaging. So just notice for you how that is as you flatten down and as you arch. Nice. Lift your feet off the floor, and then we'll do the same movement in the air. So bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, and just pause there. Feel what's working. On the back of your buttocks, the thighs, the inner thigh, the abdominal muscles. And then bring your knees together and your feet apart. Bring your feet together and your knees apart. And so you're moving in slowness, really trying to hear. Bring your knees together and your feet apart. So as you move, what does your body really wholesomely feel is unfolding? Where is the work happening as you wave your feet together and then wave your feet apart to bring your knees together? Where does this work happen in your body? One more time each way. Soles of your feet together and then knees together. Nice. Lower both feet to the floor. Drop both knees down to the right. Widen your arms out to the side. And turn your head towards the left. Just pause there. Just feel the deep of your belly. Next, we're going to deepen the twist. So bring your head back to center and then glide the left foot up until you bring your left foot to your right knee. And you can tuck your toes in behind the knee, or you can stand on your calf, or you can rest somewhere there, somewhere near the right knee with your left foot. And then reach down with your right hand and place your hand on your left knee. And just allow the weight of your hand to deepen the twist a little bit more through the outside of the left hip and the outside of the buttock. Slowly turn your head towards the left and allow yourself to sink a bit deeper into that. So always listen into your body. If anything doesn't feel comfortable, then reverse a bit, soften a bit, lift your knee a little bit, remove your hand from your knee. You're just finding what feels right for you. Nice. Bring your head back to center. Remove your right hand. Glide your left foot all the way back until your feet are hip distance apart. Draw your knees back up to center. Drop both knees down towards the left and then glide your right foot up until your right foot rests somewhere in the back of the left knee, on the left calf, on the left, somewhere over there. Find a place that it rests and then bring your left hand down to the outside of your right knee. Reach your right arm long and then look down along your right arm and just let yourself deepen and sink into it. And you're just feeling the outside of your hip, the deep of your waist, the breath as it lifts you. Just remove your hand, bring your head back to center. Glide your right foot back, bring both feet to the floor. And then keeping your feet on, or keep your knees so they're hip distance apart, and then just wiggle your ankles. So come onto the baby toe side of your feet and then the big toe side of your feet, and just feel like you're really trying to notice how your ankles move. How do you rock this? So it's almost like, how do you lift everything but the baby toe side of your feet off the floor? And how do you lift everything but the big toe side of your feet off the floor? But without moving your knees all that much. Let it be in the ankles that you're trying to find a movement. Nice. Keep your heels on the floor. Lift the whole of your foot up. And then drop your toes down and lift everything but the toes off the floor. And then heels on the floor. Lift your toes up. Lift the whole of your foot up. And then toes on the floor. Lift the whole of the rest of your foot off the floor. And then draw a circle with your feet on the floor. So you're kind of rolling in this big circle with your feet. So it's like the outer edge of your feet, your toes, the big toe side, the heels. How do you really roll into your feet? You can move your knees if you wish, or you can kind of really feel how do you mobilize into your ankles by challenging your knees not to move all that much. How do you really deeply feel your ankles? And then roll in the other direction. Lovely, super, great. And then from here, just roll over onto your side and come all the way up into a seated position. So stretch your legs out long in front of you to begin with. And then bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide, and holding onto your shins, just sit up really tall. So you're holding onto your shins, you're sitting up really tall. And you're just trying to notice now, so maybe rock a little bit from side to side on your bum, or how do you really find the seat of you here, the deep sit bones on the floor. Nice. And then bring your hands either side of your hips and bring your feet a little bit apart, so there's like a 2-inch gap between your feet. And then bring your right foot to stand. So your right knee has come up and your foot is standing, and then drop your knee wide. And then bring your left foot to stand. And then drop your knee wide. Bring your right foot to stand. Feel the sole of your foot really resting on the floor. And then drop your knee wide. And then bring your left foot to stand. And drop your knee wide. Great, one more time. Bring your right foot to stand. And drop it out. And then bring your left foot to stand. And drop it out. So without moving your knee, try and bring your sole of your foot to the floor. So how would you get your big toe down towards the floor? It's really hard. Be careful, cramped territory here. Woo. And then try the other one. Big toe down towards the floor. Nice. And then bring both knees up and drop both knees wide. Both knees up. Squeezing your knees together. Feel that through the deep abdominal muscles. And then drop your knees wide. And one more time, bring both knees up, squeeze your knees together, and then drop both knees wide. Great, stretch your right leg long, extending out. Stretch down into your heel, and then reach both hands straight up towards the ceiling, reaching really tall up towards the ceiling. Nice, lower your hands down beside your hips, bend your right knee. And then stretch the left leg long out forward in front of you. And then stretch both arms straight up towards the ceiling. Really long through that left leg, long through your arms. And then bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Great. Bring your left hand over and then bring your right hand over towards the left. So both hands are over towards the left side. And so you're resting into your left bum and your right foot is standing on the floor. Just feel that. And then come to the other side. So bring both hands to the right side. So both hands are resting on the floor. You're pushing your hands into the floor. So I'm resting on the left, my right thigh, and my left foot is standing on the floor. And then over towards the left. Both hands over towards the left. Notice where you feel this inner thigh, arms, spine, back to center. And then both hands towards the right, pushing both hands into the floor. Notice where you feel it. Hip, belly, thigh, and then all the way back to center. Bring the left hand to the floor and then reach your right hand towards the left. So you're reaching for the last sandwich in the picnic and it's straight over towards the left and it's quite high. It's kind of like maybe 2 or 3 feet off the floor and you're trying to reach as far as you can with your right hand over towards the left. So again, my left thigh is on the floor, my right foot is standing, my left hand is on the floor. Nice, come back to center. And then bring your right hand over towards the right and then reach your left hand towards the right. And go back to center. One more time each side. Drop your left hand down towards the left and reach your right hand towards the left. Reaching long. So push the right foot a little bit more into the floor and see if you can go an extra millimeter because of that push of your right foot into the floor. Nice. Coming all the way back, last side. Bring your right hand to the floor. Your left foot is standing. And then reach your left hand long. And then push your left foot into the floor and see if you get an extra millimeter. Nice. And come all the way back. Stretch both legs out long. Give thanks for your awesome feet and knees and hips. And then just roll out through your belly. So as you roll through your belly, as you ease into your hips, into the deep of the rib cage and the spine, again, just appreciate the sensations. How do you create a stretch from the back of your neck down into the length of your spine or to the sides of your rib cage? How do you connect all of you? And then roll in the other direction. How do you connect? How do you feel? Nice. So make fists out of your hands and just roll out through your wrists, big circles. So as you feel into your wrists, notice the sensations again. Can you feel the knuckles, the first knuckles of the back of your hand? And then can you feel the first knuckles of your fingers? And then the second knuckles, and then maybe the ends of your fingertips as they're tucked up into your hands. Can you feel your thumb as it wraps around over? And then roll your hands in the other direction. Can you feel the way the first finger is probably held down by your thumb? And is there a difference between one hand and the other as you do this? Nice. And then stretch your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Still your hands are in fists. And now roll your arms out, your wrists out in circles up here. And what changes when you do this? Feel your armpits maybe. Feel how your upper arms are engaging with the movement, and then roll in the other direction. Nice. Lower your arms down. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. They automatically start wiggling for me. Nice. Make fists out of your hands. Reach your arms straight out to the sides, and again, just roll your wrists in really slow circles. And see if you can feel the elbows and the upper arms and your shoulders including into the movement. So as you roll, feel the deep of your shoulders and then roll in the other direction. Nice. Wiggle your fingers. Hands are still wide. Palms are facing the floor. And then roll both of your hands so the backs of your hands are face down and your shoulders have rolled forward. And then palms face the floor, and then your palms face the ceiling, and your chest opens as you do that. Feel that chest opening, leaning into it. One more time. Palms face the floor. Bring the backs of your hands towards the floor. Round your shoulders forward. Feel the deep rounding. The more you round, the more your arms will roll. And then palms face the floor. Your arms are probably so heavy it's unbelievable. Turn your palms towards the ceiling, opening to the chest. Nice. Lower your arms down, let them rest on your thighs. And then roll your shoulders just where they are, big circles. And as you roll your shoulders, see if you can feel your collarbones. Your collarbones is where your arms are connected by bone to the body. Your collarbones are part of your arms. And then roll in the other direction. For me, there's always one collarbone that feels a little bit achy because it doesn't move as much. So it kind of has a little bit more cobwebs or stickiness to it.
Just feeling that in your body. So you roll deeply into the shoulders. Nice. Bring your arms forward in front of you, and then bend your elbows and bring your fingers to the shoulders, and then bring your elbows to touch. Feel the back of your body opening, feel the back of your neck stretching, and then open your elbows wide and open your chest as you squeeze your elbows backwards. Feel the back of your body closing and the front of your body opening. And then again, pull your elbows forward, bring your elbows to touch. And then pull your elbows back. As you pull your elbows back, really draw the elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Nice, one more time. Pull your elbows together. Feel the squeeze of your elbows, the touch of your elbows. Feel the widening through the back of the body. And then draw your elbows back, opening through the front of your body. Great, drop your arms down. Palms rest on your thighs. Just let your arms rest. Nice. So sitting tall, maybe having, if you want, you can put something underneath your bum, like a pillow or something. If your lower back is feeling a little bit tired, grab something for underneath your bum. It's very nice. I'm just going to move a little bit into the neck. So sitting tall, and just feel where your body is in space. So do you feel like, just closing your eyes, do you feel like your head is in the middle of your body? Or do you feel like there's kind of like more of your head to the right or to the left? For me, for some reason, the left side feels much bigger and the right side feels quite skinny today, which actually it's usually the other way around for me. That's just interesting. And then when you feel the distance from your ear to your shoulder on the right and the distance from your ear to your shoulder on the left, do they feel like they're similar distances, or are they very far apart or very different from each other? And your shoulders rolled forward, shoulders rolled back. Where do your shoulders feel like they are? Nice. And then dropping your ear down towards the right. Feel a gentle stretch to the left side of your neck. And then lift your head back up until you come to neutral. And again, drop your ear down towards the right. And just feel that the length of the whole side of your neck is stretching. Rather than just one place, how do you allow the whole of the neck to stretch? And then back up to center. Nice, one more time. Dropping your head down towards the right. Feeling length through the left side of your neck. And then back up to center. Right, other side. Drop your head down towards the left. Feeling length through the right side of your neck. Coming back up to center. Drop down towards the left. Feeling length through the right side of your neck. And back up to center. One more time. Ear down towards the left. Length through the right side of your neck. And back up to center. Great. Drop your chin down towards your chest. And then, like you're trying to squish something between your chin and your neck, draw your chin slowly towards the right. And then slowly towards the left. If for any reason this doesn't feel good for your neck, then don't do it. Find a way to just turn your head deeply so that your nose is pointing down towards your armpit on one side, and then your armpit on the other side. But really listen. Don't force your neck, but listen. How would you create a stretch through the back of your neck so it's continuous? So if I'm not listening, if I'm just doing a movement, it goes on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. It turns on and off. Whereas when I start to listen to the sensations, then suddenly it changes, and it's like it's a really smooth glide of a bow along a violin string. So how do you keep the sense of connection through the back of your neck as you travel from left to right? So for me, somewhere in the middle, I lose the ability to stretch it again. Well, that's okay. I can feel the rest of it, really feeling the length or the connection or the tone as I travel from one side to the other. My nose is traveling towards one armpit, one shoulder, and then my nose is traveling towards the other armpit, the other shoulder. Nice. One more time each side. Really feel, how can you be consistent with the lengthening out or the sensation of the back of your neck and shoulders stretching, and then back of your neck and shoulders lengthening. Yes, and then come back to center and just pause for a moment. all those neck things are always it's very good to pause afterwards. They're kind of weirdly exhausting. They're such a deep, like the holding your head up is like so fundamental to us that it's just on all the time. And when we start to tweak with it, there's loads of different sensations that emerge. So last of these ones. So reach your right hand up towards the ceiling and then wrap your right hand around until your right hand comes down to the left side of your face, all the way over. I always think it feels like somebody else's hand. It's like, woohoo! Yeah. Nice. And then you're not pulling with your hand, you're moving your right elbow. So move your right elbow over, but don't pull with your hand. Your hand is resting really lightly. And then bring your right elbow back up and then move your right elbow a little bit towards the left. So notice where your right elbow is moving and move your right elbow down. And then move your right elbow all the way up towards the ceiling. But don't pull your neck. So you're not pulling your neck, you're moving this part of the torso. So it's actually the rib cage that moves as you do this. Elbow goes up and then elbow travels down. Notice how your waist is being lengthened, how it's being shortened. One more time. Just noticing. Super, change. Lower your arm down, let that settle. Nice. Stretch the left hand up towards the ceiling. Drop the left hand down around the side of your face. It's always really funny. And then moving the elbow. So you're not pulling your head, you're moving your elbow. And then move the elbow. So noticing the movement possibility of the elbow in space and what tells you that you've gone far enough. For me, it's the rib cage and the deep of the torso that limits the movement. Just notice as you glide really slowly, lifting your elbow as high as it'll go over towards the right, and then lower your elbow down towards the left as much as it'll go. Just noticing. Nice. And then move your hand and let that settle and just roll your shoulders one more time. And as you roll your shoulders, maybe there's a little bit more movement in your shoulders as you roll your shoulders. And then roll in the other direction. For me, there's loads more movement in the sense of my collarbones and my shoulder blades there. So reach both hands forward in front of you and then pull your right elbow back like a bow and arrow, or like lawnmower is another way. And then bring your fingertips to the floor behind you and bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and twist towards the right. Get taller. It's not about twisting more, it's about lengthening up through your spine. So how do you rise up through the top of your head? How do you really lift and expand into your body? And then release, bring both hands forward and then to the other side. So glide the left hand back, pulling it back like a bow and arrow. So already I've done the twist, and so just drop your hand down to behind you and drop your right hand down in front of you and then turn your head. And your head only turns as far as it feels comfortable. And that could be really very random what direction it points in. Lengthening up through the top of your head. Use your hands as scaffolding to push downwards so that your spine gets taller. And then release. Right. So bend your knees until your feet are on the floor so that your knees are bent and your feet are on the floor, and then wrap your arms around your knees and drop your head down between your knees. You can, if you want, drop your arms behind your knees and hold on behind your thighs. Whichever way you're doing it, really feel like you're rounding your shoulders and you're pulling your elbows forward. So it's kind of this sense of wrapping your shoulders around your thighs. How would you really round and drop your head down? And we're trying to create space to the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders, and really lengthen into the back of the head. So every time you breathe, how would you breathe into this area at the back of the neck and shoulders? How would you Just allow such a small sense of movement on every breath. So every time you breathe, there's a little bit of a lengthening into the back of your neck and shoulders. And every time you exhale, there's a bit of a sinking into the back of your neck and shoulders. It's just a really tiny movement. So what's the smallest movement of your breath that you can find in the back of your neck and shoulders? And as you inhale, can you ever so slightly exaggerate that lifting by kind of filling into it like you're inflating like a balloon? And as you exhale, can you kind of deflate a little bit more and sink a bit deeper into it, like you're deflating, sinking, deepening, really softening into it. So every time you inhale, it's like this tiny movement of pushing, inflating, and then as you exhale, you soften and sink. And really find the sensation in the area between your shoulder blades, the back of your neck, the back of your head. If you feel like the backs of your legs are very flexible, you can stretch your legs out if you wish but if there's a massive space between your thighs and your chest, then keep your knees bent. Or if you have a pillow, you can put a pillow underneath the backs of your knees and let that support you as well. But having your belly and your thighs close together is very nice for this area here at the back of your neck and shoulders to open. Just find that. How do you soften? How do you deepen? Can you allow a lower part of your spine to soften? Can you allow more of your shoulders to deepen? How do you really let this sink? There's this thing about in this whole new psychology, in tension and stress and trauma and all this, and they talk about titration. So in the past, they used to think that the biggest change that you could make was really the most amazing thing, so that was all this big things. And then they started realizing that the smallest true change that we can make, we can actually hold that and integrate that into our daily lives. Whereas if the change is too big, then it's separate from our daily lives. So this change here that you're creating in the backs of your shoulders by just breathing into them, this may be something that you can integrate into your evening, that suddenly you go, wow, my shoulders feel a bit different and it feels really nice and soft. Just notice that. So slowly traveling up into a seated position, and then just come to lie on your back. So come to the front of your mat. Actually start at the front of the mat and just pause there and just squeeze your knees up towards you with your feet in the air and just sit up really tall. And so then hold on to the backs of your knees and just squeeze your shoulders backwards so you're lengthening through your chest. Nice. And then lower your feet to the floor, or as you roll backwards, just let your feet rest in the air and just roll back to land on your back. And as you land, perhaps that area between your shoulders, between the backs of your back of your neck is just settling and landing into the floor. So bring your arms wide so that you're resting on the floor at the backs of your arms. Bring both feet to the floor. And then just flatten your lower back down, pelvic tilt. And then arching and breathing into your belly as you arch. And as you arch, see if you can feel that the arch is moving the area between your shoulder blades. And as you flatten down, feel like it's moving the area between your shoulder blades. And as you arch, so let the movement include the whole of your spine. So you're just doing the pelvic tilt, but the pelvic tilt is the whole of your spine moving as well. So notice how your head moves as you do the pelvic tilt. Your chin is pulled downwards as you arch, and your chin is pushed upwards as you flatten down. Your shoulders are pulled as you arched, and they're pushed as you flatten down. So notice how your torso is moved by the spine in the lower back. So arching, letting your chin be pulled down, flattening, let your chin be lifted up. But don't exaggerate the movement, let the movement become. Let it emerge.
Nice. So flattening your lower back down, roll up along your spine. So as you roll up along your spine, you're lifting up into your hips, you're really wide through the front of your belly. And slowly rolling down until you land on the floor. One more time, rolling up along your spine, traveling up, and feel the weight of your body through the area that we were working on, that shoulder area, and really feel the weight of you resting into the backs of your shoulders, the back of your lower back. Nice, and then slowly travel all the way down. So draw the right knee up onto your chest, stretch the left leg long, and then just do a gentle twist, or a deep twist actually. So pushing both elbows into the floor, just rock your right knee over towards the left, and then come back up to center. And then rock your right knee over towards the left, and come back up to center. Change sides, draw the left knee up towards you, stretch the right leg long, let it rest on the floor. And then draw the left knee over towards the right. Back up to center. And then the left knee over towards the right. And back up to center. Nice. So bring both feet to the floor. And we're going to come into relaxation. So relaxation, you can either have your feet flat on the floor, keeping your knees bent. You can bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart if you wish. You can stretch your legs out long. Just find whatever version of relaxation suits you in this moment. Whatever support you need, either a pillow under your head, underneath your knees. A blanket is always very nice. There's a cooling down that happens at the end of yoga. It's very soothing to be held in a blanket. And whatever support you choose to do, really just settle with that. And then just notice your breath down into your belly. So as you deepen your breath, as you inhale down into your belly. Maybe bring your hands to your belly, it's very nice. So hands are resting on your belly just for a few moments. As you inhale down into your belly, filling. And as you exhale, just feel the full of the deep of your belly moving as you breathe. Can you be one with your breath? Can you be still with your breath? Can you be smooth with your breath? breath into your belly. Just stretching out through your arms, let your arms reach overhead, let yourself reach down into your toes. Let yourself stretch to the whole of your body. As you stretch to the whole of your body, feel a yawn feeling perhaps. That sense of the length through one side, through the other side. And then either drawing your knees up or rocking your knees over or doing whatever it is that you do. As you slowly